Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO, TED Talks, Devoted Talks, depending on how you want to say it, where we take ancient wisdom and practices to a modern lens and experience to help you and those you love in suffering in your personal and greater worlds alike. And whew, I have been exhausted. I have been talking about it off and on. We're shifting into summer, and life is in many ways draining. But I was talking with my client, as I do, and we were talking about these moments that we feel most alive. Him and I, in particular, feel most alive when we're teaching, when we're educating, when we're doing these things. I feel very alive when I'm doing this. I feel very alive when I'm in the classroom and teaching people and just guiding stuff. But then when I come out of class, it feels very unfamiliar and unsafe. But when I'm in the teaching environment, I feel so alive and so connected to the universe and so much myself that it's hard sometimes to come back to the regular world, to the mundane, and operate within it. And so it is appealing in many ways to work a lot. But as an owner, as somebody who is teaching and running the studio, but also, doing all of the admin work and planning things and paying for things, that can be very challenging and hard to want to do in its own right because it's not that same teacher study. But part of it is that I'm not bringing the teacher energy into the ownerships aspects of things. I'm not bringing the teacher aspect of life into my mundane. And why is that? Well, because I haven't chosen to. I haven't decided that they're the same, right? I am aligning with the idea that I am teaching and communicating truth to people. And then I line up fully with that and I become a direct channel for that. But then when I'm trying to clean the house and I don't really want to clean the house, then I'm not lining up with myself fully. But when I get the urge to clean the house, you better believe that I like clear my schedule and I finish doing it because I know that I need to do it while I'm feeling like doing it because I'm lined up with it. And so how do we start managing this aspect of life where we're not going to do the things we don't want to do because it's challenging and tough to want to do things that are boring or you have ideas or beliefs about, right? You have ideas or beliefs about what is important to you and what is not important to you, and you line up accordingly. Now, that's not saying that you can't do things. In fact, I would argue that some of you are able to do things because you feel so much better after having done it. And that feeling of completion gives you the benefit enough, psychic and otherwise, to want to do it, right? Just like hot yoga is hard as all get out, but I love the way I feel afterwards. So I will tolerate it even on my worst days because the challenge leads into feeling good. So if these things lead us into feeling good, we just have to start to get to know ourselves enough to know what we're going to feel like so that we start to associate the thing that we get done with the way that we're going to feel. Like, for instance, herbs sometimes, herbal formulations can taste nasty, 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 nasty. But when you start to feel better after taking them, you start to associate that flavor, at least I do, with feeling good or feeling better. And so then the medicine actually tastes like health to me rather than just whatever flavor I'm experiencing. And so then that connected um, essence or understanding then permeates into that experience and it becomes something that I choose to do and want to do rather than avoid or am not liking all the time. That was a weird way of phrasing that. I don't know why. My sentence trailed off into that craziness. Anyway, so when you start associating the thing with the thing that it should be, right? Like I associate teaching with this great connected feeling, and therefore I recapitulate that every time I teach. And I'm able to tune in, and then I'm teaching. Some days I have days that I'm more connected than others, but yesterday I did not feel great. I did not want to teach. I was about to cancel, but I kept feeling like I got a second wind, and I was like, you know what? If you're going to go there, you're not going to give some pitiful class. You're going to go and deliver a good one. And I went and I tapped in and I gave a really good class. And I felt good afterwards. I felt the best I had felt all day after I taught, even though I didn't even want to teach in the first place because I wasn't feeling that great. And so what happened, right? I mean, I sat and didn't talk for several hours after I had finished my sessions for the morning, but I allowed myself the space to rise up and then have right expectations for what was going to happen for it or why I was doing it in the first place. And so that alignment created a channel that allowed the energy to flow through me easily. So why am I avoiding things in my personal life? Because I feel like I should be doing other things, right? I feel like I should only have to deal with the studio and not deal with all the personal crap. Or, oh, I wish I had a partner so I could do this stuff, right? I have all kinds of beliefs. I have all kinds of thoughts. I have all kinds of feelings about why and about how and about what will be. And instead of lining up with the decision that I'm going to do these things because it's right and I will feel better, I am coming at odds with them because I don't want to feel like I have to do anything after I have already done all the things that I have to do, rather than, as they say sometimes, getting to do things. And so it's hard because I don't necessarily believe in just reframing things. I believe in transforming things so that it is what it really is by burning away all the things that it is not. And so we have all these ideas about things and we have to burn away. We have to chisel or shape or sculpt away from this extra so that we can see the clear or the clarity of what is below the surface. And so me doing these chores at home is more about having a better energetic feel at home, a more comfortable feel at home, than it is about cleaning the house in the first place. And so it will feel better to have the clean house. So why don't I just do it? Right? What other things in your life fall into this category? Right? Why are you deciding not to get to know yourself if you know that you would feel better for having done it? Right? I tell people it would be a no-brainer to choose food that is nourishing if you eat well long enough of the good stuff, because it feels so much better than you can even imagine from when you're not feeling well. So that choosing to eat healthy and eat well and do the exercise isn't really a choice anymore. It is who you are because we do everything to feel good, right? Sometimes we do things we don't want to do because we know that the way we're thinking about it after we have done the thing will make us feel more right than not, right? Like, for instance, work ethic oftentimes is instilled in us. And so we do the work ethic, sometimes from a place of joy, sometimes from a place of identity, but sometimes from a place of, I know that I will feel better about this if I had done what I was told to do rather than avoiding it, right? Procrastination versus just getting it done. Right. But it's not about the fact that you did it. It's about the fact of how you feel after you did it because you said you were going to do it. Right. It's these, it all goes back to whether you're going to feel good or not. And that's the hardest thing because a lot of times we don't know why we're going to feel better for doing something. And that comes from not knowing yourself. But in many ways, we need to get to know ourselves through the doing of these things in the first place. So it's a chicken or the egg situation, but also it's just a decision. You have to decide to start. You have to decide to aim that way. You have to decide that it's worth it to you for whatever reason. Sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Other times it becomes an easy choice. And other times life happens in ways that forces you to see it that way. And you just have to align with it and accept it as that, because life is like, okay, enough. Let's move forward. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because the next step has to happen. And so even though we have free will, there are probabilities that we are headed towards based on everything we've done thus far in our life. And so path of least resistance still creates places and bends where the water moves fast and other times where the water moves slow. Yep. A raging river of life. All right, my friends, be well and be free.